Hello and welcome to lot 49. Today is the 28th of December and I want to talk about homelessness and housing in the United Kingdom. So I have a pair of articles here, one talking about homelessness from the Big Issue and the other one about unlived in housing, the supply of houses in Britain which are not lived in. My first point here, I have like a quote from John Glenton, Executive Director of Care and Support at Riverside Housing Association. He has said that, shamefully, the UK tops the global league table with the highest rate for homelessness in the developed world. It's not something we should be proud of. And 1 in 200 households, according to the Financial Times, is living in emergency temporary housing. Official statistics from 2023 to 2024 show that 358,370 households had contacted their local authority for support after being threatened with homelessness. Again, it's a pretty high number. Households doesn't necessarily indicate like a whole family, but it can just be 1 or 2 individuals living together. Wonder what that is. But yeah, that obviously includes families. It doesn't really matter whether it's a family or 1 person or 2 people living together. All people matter. That was a increase of 10% from the previous year, and of that figure, 324,990 were assessed as being, the vast majority was assessed as being homeless. They didn't simply have problems staying in their house, they just weren't able to stay there in their whatever accommodation they had beforehand at all. The article goes on to talk about the number of people living in temporary accommodation in England. It only really specifies England here, not the UK broadly. Thank you, Rock. It found that a total of 123,100 households were living in temporary accommodation. I mean, that's not the majority of. That's about a third of the number of households contacted. That's only a third the number that were assessed as being homeless. And that was on June the 30th, 2024. So about 6 months ago. And that had been the highest number of people in temporary accommodation since records began. That was perhaps turn of the century, this century, as in 20th century into 21st century. Ooh, look at all the moss on that. Fresh and lively. this, or just rain moving, rainwater settling. Yeah, and it was an annual increase of 16.3% in the number of people that had applied for, that had how the hell am I getting down here? I'm going to go around a bit deeper into the forest. Yes, anyway, now moving on to moving on to the availability, the amount of housing that is currently unoccupied. We have, this is from government statistics released in November last year, and they show that, well, there's a number of different statistics for this, estimations based on what they count as empty lots. The government's most recent government statistics released from November last year show that 261,189 residential lots were long-term empty. So that's over 250,000 apartments, houses, whatnot, with no one living in them, but could be lived in. And we have, by its own, the official statistics were 358,370, so that's the majority of the number of homeless households could be housed in this country. But as I say, there's different metrics for this, and the other reports, one was by Empty Housing. Their October 2022 figures show that there was 676,304 vacant residential accommodation available, which is obviously far higher than the government statistics, and would enable all of those people, all those homeless families the households to find somewhere to live. And the action on empty homes puts the figure at about 700,000, which is not far from the Empty Housing website figure. So there's a lot of potential for people to be rehoused. Anyway, that's it for this video. See you next week. Sources have been left down in the description. Thank you for watching. Feel free to like, comment, share and subscribe. Until next week, have a good week. Bye.